what was the main driving factor for you moving out at 32?
I need space.
Space for what?
No, you know what it is? Me, my cousin, Jaheem, my aunt. So there was like 4 of us, innit?
Okay.
At one point it was 5 of us. And yeah, I just kind of needed my own space because, you know, when things just feel congested, where your grown man or someone's always asking you, oh, where you off to? Yeah, I don't feel like I want to tell people where I'm going at any given moment. Like, I think the last one was, I went on holiday for a week and I didn't say nothing. I just dipped out. So when I came back, it was like, right, where was you? I think I was in, where did I go? I might have been in, no, I wasn't in America.
That's inconsiderate though. You can't just leave and...
No, but it just felt like every
live
minute,
with people, bro.
Even if I'm going to the front door, where you going?
Okay.
Yeah, it felt too much. It felt like overkill. You
went away for a week, bro, and didn't say nothing.
I just dipped out quietly.
You could have been dead.
I just dipped out quietly. I needed space to think. And when I came back, I remember I said, oh yeah, I've gone hunting for a flat. And my aunt was like, why do you want to move? And I said, I just need my space. I feel like if I'm here, I'm not gonna graft harder. I'm just gonna be, you know what I mean, at a baseline. And I think when I left home, I started working harder. Yeah, because now you've got more bills. Imagine your bills have amplified by like 7 times.
Yeah. Would it not work out to be the same money though? Because you was saving from not paying for like a whole place for yourself when you was back at home, innit? So
at home was a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
If I had the same grind effort when I was at home.
So you're saying moving here made you that much more than...
Me that much more productive.
Okay.
Because now you're your own.
Yeah.
When you're at home, there's days where you can kind of slack off. Like, do I really want to work today? I paid the rent. I paid this. I could, you know what I mean? I could kind of ease off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going on holiday. When you're at home, you don't have to think too hard about the budget side of things, and you'd always have that extra cash. So you're always kind of. But when you live by yourself, you're more like, you know what? Let me keep that extra cash and more just in case.
Really?
At home, there's no just in cases.
I was gonna say you could have worked though. You could have hustled harder when you was at your parents.
No, I was grafting.
You moved out for pussy, don't lie.
No, I was grafting.
No, you did.
No. I was grafting when I was at home. No, Gabs. When I moved
there was money at your auntie's house.
Did I step up with the events? When I moved here, that's when I started Summer Love.
So
Lots Sundays I went ham.
What age did you move out then?
32, right before I turned
32.
32.
Would you say
4 months before?
Okay, would you say that was not saying there's a wrong time, would you say that was the right time for you to move out at that point?
I don't think there's ever a right or wrong time.
Because I think the issue is I'm going to paint the picture and paint the scenario. So one of my friends, okay, I'm not going to mention names or anything to keep it, but she said I can discuss it. So her son's 21, okay, and I'll paint the scenario. So her son's 21 and he's got a girlfriend, yeah? Now, let's just say for instance, they live in Croydon and the girlfriend lives in Brighton. Let's just say that's the distance, okay? So whenever, because it's pretty distant and pretty far, they typically want to meet up on the weekend. And when she comes to their house, so he lives with his mum. When she comes to their house, typically she'll want to stay over because going back to Brighton at that time is pretty late. Now the mum has no problem with the 21-year-old having naked exercise, but she has an issue with him having it whilst she's in the house. Now they had a little kind of back and forward where, for instance, when the girl was coming over, she basically wanted either the door of the bedroom to be stayed open or for her to be downstairs in the front room while she's in the bedroom. So basically, I don't want this girl staying over when I'm here. And then the truth she kind of gave was that when I'm out of the house, by all means, like say I'm going to party or I'm going to drinks, or if I'm out of the house, by all means, she can stay over. Now he's like, look, there's sometimes when you're not going to when I go out, mum, and I want my girl to come round. So the question I'm asking now is this, for those watching this: at what age was you allowed to have your boyfriend or girlfriend stay over? And do you think it's wrong for this woman to say that her son should not have sex in the house while she's there? And my question is, at what age was you allowed to have a boy? So what, at what age was you ever allowed to have your girlfriend stay over? At what age?
Stay over?
As in your bedroom? As in she's staying the night?
For like 18.
18, so you're saying that at 18 your mum was aware, so at 18, would you say your mum was aware that you was having sex at 18? so she was aware.
Yeah,
So
I
she
think
knew
so,
that if that girlfriend was going in your room,
Yeah.
she knew that the likelihood, even though she may not, there was no conversation had. And at no point you say to your mum, "Hey, mum, I'm getting it in, you know." So like, give us some water in about 30 minutes. I need the water. At no point did that conversation happen.
West don't have that.
You know.
I said your mum was.
No, but you know what it is?
Your mum was
I've
saying,
got.
"Water boy, you can do it."
No,
Oh
so-
my God, Wes.
I'm mixed race, innit? So my mum's white and my dad's black. I live with my mum.
Okay.
So we can probably assume that.
Yeah.
Well, would you say,
There was different
would you
rules.
say white people, I mean, sometimes when you say things, and I'm not. Let me take you out the scenario.
Go on.
I think some things are more of a class thing than a race thing. Because back in the day, we had this idea that all white girls were easy. Okay, and I think a lot of these things are more of a class thing than a race thing. Because there were black girls who were easy, but and whatever easy is at that age. But I think it's fair to say that growing up, most of the houses that I was allowed to, I don't think there was only 1 or 2 girls that I was allowed to actually stay over, and more time the mum wasn't. Okay, you told me your journey when you was growing up. How many girls' houses were you actually allowed to stay over at?
My first girl.
How old is she?
We were both 18.
And what country was her parent from?
St. Lucian.
And at 18 you could be in that
Yeah,
bedroom.
I used to stay at her mum's house. Then after she moved down south to her aunt's house, and I used to stay at her aunt's
Is it fair to
house.
say there was no man in the house? There's no dad?
Yeah, there was none.
Because
Her bigger brother was there though.
yeah, but there's no dad.
Nah.
I want people in the comments to let me know that for all of those who were able to stay at girls' houses or vice versa, because I think it's a different dynamic when it's a boy going to a girl's house than a girl going to a boy's house. I don't know.
She never used to stay at mine. But
Why is that? Because you wasn't allowed to have girls stay over full stop.
I wasn't. Then when I got with the one you know,
Yeah.
she was allowed to stay over. Because
Okay, and how old was you at that point?
I was 27. My aunt used to complain and say, "Rah, yeah, she could stay." Like my aunt used to actually say, "Oh, yeah, why doesn't she stay over?" So I said, "All right, cool, stay over."
I think what my problem lies with this conversation is this: if you have a problem with your son or your daughter having sex, full stop, then they shouldn't be having sex in the house, full stop. But if you have no problem with your daughter or son having sex, then I don't know whether or not you should have a problem with them having sex in the house. Because where do you want them to have sex in the park like foxes?
No, I think the rules she set are perfectly fine because it's her prerogative. So it's her home, and the house comes with rules. If you want to be in the house, these are the rules.
Gabs, another thing. You see, like when you said the thing about, oh yeah, you moved out because you wanted to have sex.
Yeah.
Hear the joke. When you move out, yeah, you stop linking as much as you used to when you were at your parents.
Yeah, yeah.
It's messed up. But when I was at home, I remember like I'm waiting. I'm like 9 o'clock. My aunt's getting to bed. By 10, boom, who I want to come in. But by 5 a.m, you better be out the door before she wakes up. Then I remember like when I've left home, my aunt one time said to me, those times when the babes are leaving out, I was awake.
Yeah.
I heard the stairs.
Yeah.
When you were both trying to, you know, you should have avoided the creaky stairs. One creaky stairs.
You gotta tell that girl, do not step on step 9. Literally skip step 9. 1, 2. And this time you got a baby who's dyslexic, so she can't read the text. She doesn't know that.
I used to say, follow my footsteps.
Yeah.
If my right foot goes here, your right foot goes there.
Yeah.
But it's mad. The moment you leave home, you don't want no one in your house like that.
It's mad. What would you